Cultural Marxism in video games is no longer a conspiracy theory. We have verifiable proof, and I'm going to show it to you today. Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and let's take a look at this excellent post from Evil Charm here. Yes, everyone, we can agree it's not a conspiracy theory that people are out there trying to inject DEI BS and other extremist political views into video games. It's 1000% true. That's why it's not a conspiracy. Sweet Baby Inc., the clan, is about to meet again at GDC 2024. GDC is the Game Development Conference. Now, hold on. We're going to go over these photos, and I want to let you know, these are from 2017. What I'm about to show you is from 2017. And if they were this blatant then, imagine what's going to be at the GDC 2024 this year. Not just this year. In fact, in a couple of days. GDC 2024 is Monday. So if you guys are worried about cultural Marxism infesting not just video games, but life in general, all of our hobbies, all of pop culture, all of our media, then you are going to want to pay attention to this one. Before we get into it, hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I bring you nerdy news every day. And this might be some of the most breaking, hard-hitting news that I've ever actually gotten the chance to bring to you. This is absolutely wild. You see here a bunch of photos. I got them. We're going to go over them a bit more in depth to get the quality a little bit better. Video games are political. The way we make games is political. The way that we teach our students to make games is political. This is a conference. This conference is being given. They are outright saying in 2017, all gaming is political, every step of development. This is an industry professional giving this speech. Now, real quick, for those of you that don't know what the GDC is, maybe you're not related to video games, that's not in your bag. Game Developer Conference. The Game Developer Conference, GDC, is an annual conference for video game developers. The event includes an expo, networking events, and an awards show like the Game Developers Choice Awards and Independent Games Festival, and a variety of tutorials, lectures, and roundtables by industry professionals on game-related topics covering programming, design, audio production, business and management, and visual arts. Now, the business, management, production, that's what we need to worry about, because if you go to the GDC's official website and go to GDC number 1 or GDC 101, they already got an entire section for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, who all's going to be there? Well, these are some of the guest speakers. We got individuals from Nintendo. We got Larian Studios, Finji, Glow Up Games, Brass Line Entertainment. The voice actor Troy Baker's going to be there. Actually, really cool dude. I met him. I'm sure he's probably got TDS like everyone else, but nice guy. Great at his job. The fact of the matter is, we have got the GDC 2024, and they already have an entire section about diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, and they are oh so proud of it. But let's go back to some of the other stuff that they were touting again in 2017, and white cisgender able-bodied man as the default. So for people that were saying, they're trying to take white men out of video games, now they're trying to eradicate the straight white male hero, and everyone's saying you're being a racist, homophobic, misogynist, redneck, or whatever it was, all those assertions, they're not trying to cut white people out of games. In 2017, they were quite literally saying, get rid of this as the default. Now, whether you like this or not, whether you agree with it or not, doesn't alter the fact that it is happening. There is an actual agenda for this, and for us, individuals that just want to enjoy games that, are made not by committee, games that are made by individuals who have their heart and soul entrenched into it and just want to make the game that they want to make. Yeah, no wonder when we see these consulting companies like Sweet Baby Inc. or Black Girl Gamers come into the picture, we get a little nervous, because now, how can we tell if the developer, if what they wanted to make is truly the product that we end up getting when we know that this is the narrative that has been being taught? But what about this one right here? Marxism is great for a designer. Marxism, the thing that has killed more individuals by a wide margin than the Holocaust. They're actually touting and promoting Marxism in their games. Like I said, verifiable proof. You got a nice little picture of Karl Marx right here. Marxism is great for a designer. Marxism takes a deterministic approach to history. Before socialism, there must be capitalism. They openly advocate socialism is what they want, because once again, they know nothing of history. All they know from the history books is what our poor schools have taught them that don't actually teach socialism correctly, because again, it has killed, socialism and communism have killed more people by a wide margin, I will say it again, than the Holocaust. But of course, bringing up the Holocaust, these are the first people to call you Nazis, so it makes sense that they wouldn't know anything about history. It may sound like crazy talk, but when you turn it into a design, it's great to work with. Lessons learned, the invitation, the selection process, education, privilege and oppression, microaggressions, white fragility, call-out culture. Now, again, 2017, maybe I remember cancel culture already being a term, so it's strange they're using call-out culture. But who is given this? I mean, we take a look at this photo right here. Who is this? So it looks like this is Bonnie Ruberg. Now, who is Bonnie Ruberg, looking like a stereotypical feminist? This is Bonnie Ruberg. Bonnie Ruberg is a professor of UC Irvine Film and Media, co-editor, JCMS Journal, Queer Games and Sexuality in Tech. Latest book, Sex Dolls at Sea, whatever the hell that is. It sounds like the, not Disney version of The Little Mermaid. Non-binary, bi, neurodivergent, they, them. They got more pronouns in their bio. They got more buzzwords than a damn New York Times article. But here, lo and behold, this is one of the individuals that are instructing your favorite corporations at these conferences. If you want to know what Larian and what Nintendo and what Square Enix and what Capcom and all these other, Rocksteady, 2K, what all these developers that make games that you love, if you want to know what they're going to be taught, if you know what they're going to be preached to at the games conference, they're going to be taught by somebody like this. What are some of the things they've worked on? Well, let's see. We got The Future of Queer Games and the Apocalypse by Bo Ruberg, Juno Morrow, Jude Pinto. So, yeah, some more great shots of our Queer Games and the Apocalypse panel at Games for Change, G4C 2023 last week. Yeah, this is from July 24th, 2023. So, she's been on that agenda for a while. What's another one? Oh, right here. We got How to Queer the World, Queer World Building in Video Games and Beyond. Head up to UCLA English to present. See, UCLA English. And again, if we look at their account right here, Professor Irving Film. This is academia. This is what is being taught to your children. This is what's happening when you send them to these 4-year anniversaries, because I want to be the next Shigeru Miyamoto. No, you're going to be the next statistic of a hanging trans person because they're turning your kid like this into, in the college setting. So, awesome. When was this one from? May 23rd, 2023. But we can go back a bit further. Hold on now. Oh, you're looking for some Pride game reading. May I humbly recommend Queerness in Play, Queer Game Studies. Video games have always been queer. Now, that's an interesting one. Video games have always been queer. Well, if video games have always been queer, then why such a push for DEI? Why such a push for your diversity, equity, and inclusion? Because if video games have always been queer, as this book so aptly claims, and again, Dr. Bo Ruberg is touting this, I don't even know if they're an actual doctor, mind you, but if video games have always been queer, then why such a push for this sort of stuff in games? Why are you trying to make everything all rainbowified if it's always been there? Which, again, is what this book would imply based on the title. It's quite the conundrum, because the existence of this book should kind of negate your entire argument, kind of negate the fact that you're calling for so much LGBTQIA plus XYZ LMNOPQRS inclusion in games. If video games have always been queer, then how come in Insomniac Spider-Man 2 did we absolutely have to have every single facet of every NPC saying, "Hey Spidey, my boyfriend's a big fan of you," when you're talking to some junior black dude or whatnot? Let's be real. Video games haven't always been queer, but again, the existence of this book negates all their arguments. And this sort of thing goes on and on. I mean, these are all the photos, the media, just from this individual's Twitter account. Queer Game Studies. All right, well, that's interesting. That's from March 28, 2022. Let's see. What else we got here? This is from another GDC panel. Respectful Non-Binary Representation and Localization. This is from March 24, 2022. So the GDC from a couple years ago. Again, the indoctrination is palpable. You send these developers, again, from Square Enix or Nintendo or Rocksteady or choose your game company of choice. They go to these development classes, they go to this video game conference, and then they're told this is what you have to do, either because this is how you're going to get that sweet ESG money from BlackRock or Raytheon or any of these other investment companies, or hey, this is the landscape. This is how our this is what our customers are looking for. This is what they want in their games, completely misinforming, misrepresenting the actual consumer base to these corporations, which of course lead to backlash when you see games like Forspoken that get absolutely eviscerated for being complete trash games. Well, guess what? Black Girl Gamers, one of these consulting firms, worked on that game. Black Girl Gamers absolutely took Square Enix for a ride, and it cost Square Enix their Western development studio. But of course, again, just saying that, just making this video is going to be considered targeted harassment. Notice how the Stellar Blade, the Korean studio, I don't see them on any sort of GDC conference. Again, I could be wrong, but I didn't see them attending this conference. So what else do we have here? We got more. Yeah, the Queer Gamers Avant, how freaks, normals, amateurs, artists, dreamers, dropouts, queers, housewives, and people like you are taking back an art form. There's got something here from Legend of Zelda. So yeah, we got Ready Player 1 and Ready Player 2. Yeah, Ready Player 2 was awful. Women gamers and designed identity. That's interesting. So that's not the actual sequel to Ready Player One, because Ready Player One has a sequel called Ready Player Two, written by the same guy. It's terrible. So I'm not quite sure what this is, but either way, I think you guys get the point. I think you get what we're talking about here. GDC 2024 is happening this Monday. And aren't you curious? Aren't you the slight bit interested when you see these videos, when you see these pictures, when you know this is going back all the way to at least 2017? And let's be real, Gamergate was in 2014. We know that this was in the academia. We know this was in the school system well before 2014. So doesn't it make you curious what they're going to put there this year? Doesn't it make you wonder, man, Gamergate 2.0 is apparently going on according to the games media, the games journalists. So wouldn't it make sense that they're going to talk about that? I wonder if there's going to be some interesting leaks there. Who knows? I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, at this point, like I said, I want to highlight, I just want to give an absolute appreciation for Evil Charm for putting this together, for bringing this to our attention. Anyone and everyone seeing this should absolutely go follow them on X, because this, again, proves it is not a conspiracy theory that all of us have been talking about for God knows how many years now, whether it be on YouTube or on message boards or on Facebook or wherever it is. Any of us that have been fighting against this fight for this, just this distillation and homogenization of woke politics and video game culture and in video game development and in nerd culture in general, it's actually happening. It's being taught at yearly seminars that these bigwig corporations send their bigwig, developers to. So at this point, how can you call it anything other than a fact? Conspiracy theorist is such an awful label. There's such a pejorative. But we see it on full display, and people wonder why Sweet Baby Inc. is getting called out and destroyed the way they are, because we see things like video games are political, the way we make games is political, the way that we teach our students to make games is political, on full display. How can you call it anything else? But of course, once again, they're just going to call this targeted harassment. But I don't really care what they think. I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at Bolt the Word. And please do subscribe. I am a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. At this point, let's be real. It's going to be a lot of video game stuff going forward, because with all this news breaking, man, I'll cover some other stuff, but this is the hot button issue right now because it is blatantly in our face and on the nose. And we have got to tackle this head on. No matter what, we have got to make sure this stays in the news cycle and we do not let them sweep this under the rug. So by all means, subscribe to the channel. Check me out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon. And for $4.99, become a member, join the Discord, choose the articles that I get to go over. It's a blast for building a community. And you can use discount code VITALIDLE to get some money off some merch. A shirt, a mug. Tag me in on X. I'd love to see what it looks like on you. And until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere. And this has been Words of Paradise.